Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome back to something that you probably didn't expect to see again. That's going to be Fallout... What the heck? George Newsbaum. That's going to be Fallout George Newsbaum, the hit new Fallout game with kids. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, this is Let's 100% Fallout 3. This one always gets the comments of, oh, I wish this didn't end, and then I feel bad. And then I'm like, well, it's been long enough. I feel like recording this again, so here we are again with Let's 100% Fallout 3. We are at a very memorable quest. This is probably the quest that everybody remembers the most out of Fallout 3. We've got a doggy over here called Doc, who barks. Good doggy. Bark, bark. Oh, this silly dog. He's almost talking. But what does he have to say? He's just a dog. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Whee! Let's talk to this little girl here, Betty. Hello.
Oh, someone new to play with. What good luck I have lately. I was just starting to get bored. Oh, we're going to have so much fun.
And you are?
I'm Betty. I live here on Tranquility Lane. Want to play a game?
A game? Okay. What the hell's going on here?
We're going to play a game now, silly. That's what's going on.
I'm looking for my father. Have you seen him?
Gee, I don't know. What's he like?
He's a scientist. He's looking for Dr. Braun.
That's your daddy? Oh, we're going to have so much fun. This is going to be the best game ever.
No thanks. No games for me.
You don't get to say no. If I want to play a game, you're going to play. And I want to.
Look, kid, I'm not interested in playing games.
I said I want to play a game. It's easy. You make Timmy Newsbaum cry, and I'll help you. If you don't, then I guess you'll never find out where your daddy is.
Okay, well that's quite rude. Completed Find and Speak to Betty, make Timmy Newsbaum cry. Oh yeah, and if we zoom out, we're like a little kid, by the way, which is quite interesting. Take a look at our striped shirt that we've got. Hi there. I'm assuming this is Timmy Newsbaum.
Hiya.
Hello.
Hi there. I'm Timmy. Want to play?
Hey, I heard your parents are getting a divorce because of you.
What? Did I do something bad?
Oh my god. Sorry, Timmy. I just thought you should know.
No, not my mommy and daddy, no.
Jeez Louise, you've lost karma. Well, what do you want me to do? I have to make Timmy Newsbaum cry. Now, you actually don't need to, if I'm correct here. Whenever I play these games, I try to play with the spirit of the game. So it's like, obviously, there's other things that you can do, as with most Fallout games. But, yeah, in this instance, I don't know. I want to go with the spirit of the game. There is a way, I think, to avoid all instances of negative karma, which would be good for our character because we're definitely neutral to good. But, yeah, it is what it is. But we want to find our father, so sorry, Timmy Newsbaum. Nothing personal.
Decided you want to play after all, huh?
I had a feeling you'd come around. Your approach was somewhat uninspired, but it'll do. Since you won the game, you get a prize. You may ask one question, which I will answer as honestly as possible.
Where's my father?
Ah, yes. A predictable question, I suppose. Your father is here, in Tranquility Lane. He's quite safe for now, though he can no longer hound me with his incessant questioning.
Perhaps you will see more of him in time.
What have you done to him? I want to see him now.
No, I don't think so.
We haven't yet plumbed the depths of your ability to amuse me. I think you'll do a few more things for me first.
No, I'm not doing anything else for you.
Then once again, we find ourselves at an impasse. How disappointing.
Okay. So yeah, this is Tranquility Lane. Obviously, a lot of different things that you can do here. I wondered if you could move these around. Drinking glass pitcher. It's weird. They don't let you interact with them. I was wondering if you could like maybe jump over and like knock them over, and that makes them cry as well.
To what you're doing.
Oh, sorry. Hello there, old lady Dithers.
You don't belong here. You're not supposed to be here. It's not real. None of it. It needs to end. The suffering must end.
Yeah, okay, crazy lady. Finally, someone who knows what's going on. How do I get out of here?
We're not really here. We're not really talking. It's all made up. Make believe. We're sleeping, dreaming. The dream became a nightmare. It has to end. It just has to. But we're not in charge. He is. And he doesn't want us to wake up.
What are you talking about?
He calls himself Betty now, but he's still the same. He can put on a new face all he likes, but underneath he's still evil. Braun. Bastard thinks because he helped create this place, he's God here. But I know he still uses the fail-safe terminal. I know it.
What failsafe? How come you're the only one who seems to know this?
Don't know. Can't sleep sometimes. Hear voices. My own skin doesn't feel right. None of this is right. You've got to believe me. You've got to find that fail-safe.
What failsafe? What the hell are you talking about?
It's in the abandoned house. He doesn't want us going in there because he's afraid we might find it. It's the only terminal to the outside. The only way to shut the whole thing down. You've got to find it.
You've got to let me know you're one of my kind. Okay, so yeah, Tranquility Lane is super duper fun and interesting, but not if you're a good character. As usual, if you're a good character, it's kind of the more boring option, which we are playing a good character. So basically, I'll say this much. Oh yeah, and if you bring up your Pip-Boy, this comes up instead, which is a fun little detail. Basically, at this point, we're going to go down the good option, but if you're playing this game yourself, I highly recommend going down the Betty option, because it's a lot more interesting. And you might say, well, why not show the interesting option on the recording? I don't want to sacrifice the character's integrity, basically. I want to do what the character would actually do, which, yeah, we've been good to neutral this entire time. So he would not do what Betty wants, because what Betty wants is pretty brutal. I'll just say that much. And, yeah, definitely go check it out if you... what does Betty want? Oh, Cindy's here now.
Just briefly.
Cindy's popping in.
I just heard about, like, this horrible thing, and what Betty wants is brutal. I'm like, well, what does Betty want?
So basically, this will be good, too, because we haven't recorded this in a while. But basically, this is all... Do you know about vaults in Fallout?
Yes.
Okay, so this is all a vault experiment where Betty is actually an old German man, and he's like basically made this whole simulation for his own amusement. And so he wants you to like do a whole bunch of bad stuff. I'm not going to spoil it, but he wants you to go down and do a whole bunch of bad stuff that starts with making Timmy cry. And so we told him his parents are getting a divorce because of him, and he started crying.
Oh, you did not.
Yeah, but I mean, it gets way worse than that. So basically, he just wants you to do all this horrible stuff to show who your dad is. He'll then, which, spoiler alert, our dad is this guy, Doc, the dog. He's like trapped in the mind of a dog, basically.
Oh, gotcha.
Spoiler alert. But anyways, yeah, so Betty has you do a whole bunch of stuff, which I won't spoil because it's really fun, and you should experience that yourself. But we're playing a good character, so we have to do the good thing.
All right, you have fun.
Okay, bye.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay, so here's the abandoned house, and we've got a whole bunch of weird objects. Oh yeah, and this, I think, if you're listening to the music, it's like dun 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 dun. So let's see, what do we have? We've got the bottle, and then we can hear like a little negative noise. Okay, so it's one of these sound puzzles, so it's dun dun. And then dun dun dun. Okay, so it's bum bum bum. Cinder block? I don't know what... I thought we were trying to make the theme song, but I actually don't remember. And I can barely hear because I'm not wearing headphones whilst recording this. Bum, 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 bum. I feel it's like bum, bum. Oh, there we go. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so I think that is part of the theme. And that reveals the Vault 112 Auxiliary Command Terminal. I don't think there's anything else in here that we can interact with. Other than, obviously, like, the sink, I guess, which we could drink some water. Activate sink. Oh, yeah, we get some HP, actually, from that. And we actually have an HP level in the bottom left, so let's go ahead and do that. Bum, 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 bum. What is that? That must just be the theme that we're hearing, right? Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, let's go ahead and activate this. What do we got? Auxiliary Command Terminal. Please consult a supervisor before proceeding. Access Chinese Invasion Program. Access Version Control. Dr. Braun entry Toucan Lagoon, Slalom Chalet, and Tranquility Lane. So these are the different simulations that he's running. We can also do the Chinese invasion, which will literally have Chinese soldiers invade and kill everybody. Let's do this one. Toucan Lagoon. I've finally come to the realization that the Toucan Lagoon simulation has run its course. I'm tired of the beating sun and ceaseless pounding of the lagoon's waves upon the shore. I no longer take pleasure in watching... Okay, I'm done with this accent. Simpson wither away from scurvy or hearing Newsbomb screams as he's devoured by the Mako shark. I am quite simply bored. It is time to reset the simulation once again. I haven't been skiing in ages, so that led him to the Slalom Chalet. Yesterday, Dithers slipped on the chalet's icy stairs, went airborne, and managed to impale herself on the wrought iron fence. It was spectacular, completely and utterly random. Is there anything more sublime than the bold crimson on fresh fallen snow? It was almost enough to make me reconsider a change of scenery, but not quite. 23 years is a long enough vacation in the Swiss Alps. I long for something more domestic. And so that led him to Tranquility Lane. I have surprised myself. I find Tranquility Lane comforting. Although distinctly American, it somehow reminds me of Kronach, the town of my childhood, which I'm assuming is a German town. There's a beautiful irony with this particular simulation as well. The residents here are naturally at home, naturally safe. When I toy with them, when their suburban illusion is suddenly broken, it's that much more satisfying. I do believe we shall all remain here in Tranquility Lane for a very long time. A very long time indeed. So yeah, if you're not understanding what's going on, basically he's got all these people trapped in his personal hell, and it's super duper messed up. I remember choosing this because I didn't know what this meant, but let's access version control. Welcome Dr. Braun. It's always hilarious to me how there's never any passwords for the most important stuff, like Dr. House's terminal in Fallout New Vegas, and this terminal in Fallout 3. It's like, why are these the ones without passwords? Although I guess you could say that the little chime thing was the password. Welcome Dr. Braun. Display current version control. Version 3.2.005. Exceptions granted for pod 0001, which I'm assuming is Braun's pod. Manual override for pods disabled. Remote access allowed. User S. Braun has privileges. Updated neural inputs to override memory access for individual users. Revised code for vault maintenance robots. Authentication from S. Braun required before further updates allowed. User unknown granted access. User unknown altered by S. Braun. So I'm assuming that's our dad? User unknown. Display previous version notes. New program Tranquility Lane loaded. Authorization S. Braun. All previous versions wiped. Authorization S. Braun. Okay, so access version. So do you have to just do this? Access. You're just killing everybody, and if they die in the simulation, they don't die. All right, we're gonna make a save here because I thought there was more options than this, but I guess you were literally supposed to kill everybody. Access Chinese invasion program. Chinese invasion failsafe subroutine access. Welcome Dr. Braun. Initiate Chinese invasion failsafe. Failsafe program documentation. Dr. Braun. Here is the revised code for the military training program you've expressed interest in. Not sure exactly what you want with it, and I again stress that this program was never designed to be run with civilian equipment. Frankly, I don't expect any system you have access can even run it. You have access to. But if you can run this program with the failsafes off as requested, your real-world test subjects will die if killed in the simulation. It goes without saying that officially I denied your request. General Constantine Chase, U.S. Military Training Program 923-B, Chinese Invasion. Purpose: simulate a communist incursion on U.S. soil. Documentation culled, new protocols enacted. Disable safety protocols 1 through 6, override target acquisition. Warning: test subjects will experience real-world termination. Proceed with extreme caution. Failsafe. Dr. Braun entry failsafe. There are days I consider finally pulling the plug, as it were, and putting a permanent end to both this simulation and my life. That is the reason I requested installation of General Chase's Chinese invasion program after all. By disabling the safety protocols, I have ensured that each subject in Vault 112 will physically die if their in-simulation avatars are killed. Real-world death, end of simulation, the perfect failsafe. At least it would have been if not for my own misjudgment. I know when the simulation first went online that the secondary safeties those established for all Vault Tech and military personnel would prevent my own real-world demise in the event of a failsafe execution. In the end, I would kill the subjects and save myself. I wouldn't want it any other way, or so I thought. It's true the failsafe would scare the living hell out of any resident in Tranquility Lane and lead to their brutal deaths, but then what about me? I have no ability to disable my own safety from within the simulation, and any other avatars I could create would be driven by the simulation's AI routines, not actual living, thinking human subjects. Where's the fun in tormenting a machine? And so the release of the real-world subjects is more than they deserve, more than I could bear. They'd be dead, and I'd be left here in Tranquility Lane alone and tragically bored for all eternity. You can think of nothing more unacceptable. So I better put all that in a note so that if someone ever reads it, they know exactly what to do. Okay, so yeah, basically what this is saying is that if we access the Chinese invasion program, everybody will literally die, except for us. I guess this was always super confusing to me, but yeah, I guess everyone will literally die. So we're basically releasing them, which is awful if you think about it. There's no way to actually save them, which is kind of crazy, except for Dr. Braun, who won't die and then will be trapped in this hell forever, basically, with robots and AI. So I guess we'll initiate the Chinese invasion failsafe. Program running, proceed with caution. Okay, and then we'll exit this. Yeah, and then we gain karma. This was always really weird to me. Exit Tranquility Lane, which is so bizarre. Why do we not die? Why do we get to leave? So weird. So you can see here's the Chinese soldiers, and they horrifically just gun down everybody. And yeah, it's quite brutal. And they don't attack us for whatever reason. I don't know what this guy's looking at. What are you looking at? Chinese commando. And then we can obviously talk to Betty before we leave. They also don't go after our dad. They don't go after Betty. They don't go after us, which is very, you know, very convenient. And that, yeah, there's no way to actually save everybody unless you consider having them killed saved. Very bizarre, but anyways.
Do you realize what you've done? You've triggered the failsafe, ruined everything. The subjects will die, and I'll be stuck here in this hell alone.
You ruined everything! Everything!
Yeah, well, it's all over. Now shut up and answer my questions.
It is not over. It is not over until I say so. Do you understand me? I
just want things to go back the way they were.
Yeah, well, you're kind of a psychopath is the thing, and we can't really have somebody like you having all this power. It doesn't really work out because you're a dictator and a psychopathic, psychopathic dictator at that. I came for my father. Now, where is he?
He's been right here the whole time. And you were too dense to figure it out. The dog, you see.
Man's best friend. But now you've taken all my friends from me.
Well, they weren't really your friend, though. So my father's okay? I can get him back?
Yes, I'm sure he's fine. No doubt when you leave the simulation, he'll be waiting for you.
But there's no one waiting for me.
I mean, there's no explanation. Yeah, I always found this just a little flimsy. There's no way, like, Braun initiated a failsafe for the failsafe. There's why does the dad... I guess he just forgot when he was, like, a new user to add the parameters. I don't know. Very weird. Tell me about the GEC, which it's been a while since we've talked about, so if you don't remember, it's the, what does it stand for? The something environment creation kit. The Green Environment Creation Kit. I forget what the G stands for. Basically, the GEC is a machine that allows for the creation of new life, pretty much, which is obviously invaluable in the wasteland.
The Garden of Eden Creation Kit.
Not even close.
It was for terraforming, for restoring the world after a nuclear disaster. Unstable technology, and ultimately boring. Why remake the old reality when instead you could create any reality you choose?
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. It's like the Star Trek, what do they call it? The Star Trek, I'm not a huge Star Trek guy, but the thing where you can, you know, do whatever you want. Tell me about this place, about Tranquility Lane.
It is my greatest achievement. The best of the many simulations I've run in these 200 years.
I played with the others, but they bored me. This version never grew old. It amused me over and over and over again.
How would this one not get boring, though? Like, this one seems like it has the most potential to be boring. Tell me exactly who you are, who you really are.
My name is Stanislaus Braun. I'm a Vault-Tec scientist. I created this simulation for Vault-Tec, but for myself as well. It was my own design, my own perfection. A better reality than any other. Far greater than my work on the GEC.
Okay, but your name's Betty. So I'm free to leave?
Isn't it obvious? You've run the failsafe, disrupted everything. I have no power over you.
There's the door. Go.
I always thought it was also weird how, like, calm he is about all this. Like, his life is basically going to be an eternal hell now. And he's just like, yeah, you can go. I have to go now.
Run along now.
Okay, bye-bye. Come on, dog. Let's go. Oh, Betty whistles the tune is what it is. Do, 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 do. Oh, interesting. I wonder if that's the only clue. But you can obviously do it by what's the word? Trial and error as well. Okay, here's where we finally meet our dad, who we've been searching for a long time, especially with cuts to this series on YouTube.
Son, you've saved me. I was afraid I'd be trapped in there forever. It's so good to see you, but what are you doing here?
I came here to find you.
Well, I'm glad you did. This certainly wasn't how I expected things to turn out. I wasn't ready for Braun, or I might have fared better.
Good thing I showed up to save you.
It certainly is. It's nice to feel that I'm on two legs again. And thanks to Dr. Braun, I know that Project Purity isn't lost after all.
Friendly reminder to anybody watching that doesn't know, Dad is voiced by Liam Neeson. Don't you want to take a break after what you've been through?
No. It will be time to rest when the work is complete. This is far too important. I need to get back to Rivet City right away. There's so much to be done.
So, you're going back to Rivet City right now?
Yes. With what I've learned, Madison is sure to see that we can finally succeed where we failed so many years ago. I'd like you to come with me. I'd like you to be there when we finally open the floodgates.
Okay. Let's head for Rivet City.
That's my boy. Let's hurry. Now that I know what we need, I want to get back to work as soon as possible.
Can we just talk for a minute?
Of course, son. What's on your mind?
Can't we just go back to the vault? No. How could you leave me like that? What the hell were you thinking?
I wanted you to be safe. I didn't want this for you. A life out here in this godforsaken war zone. I couldn't tell you what I was doing because I didn't want you following me. A plan which clearly was not as successful as I imagined it would be.
Fair. Why would you put yourself at risk like this? You have some sort of death wish?
What? No, of course not. This is important work. Clean water can change the lives of so many thousands of people. It's worth the risk to help them.
Helping people? What about helping your own son?
I can understand that you're angry. You have a right to be. Perhaps the choice I made wasn't the right one. At the time, I thought I was doing what was best for you.
I think I understand. I'm glad we talked.
So am I, son. While this isn't what I had in mind, it's good to have you with me.
I wanted to talk to you about some things.
What's on your mind?
Never mind. Let's just get back to work.
All right.
What exactly is this Project Purity?
It started as an idea, really. Remember the Bible passage your mother loves so much? Free, clean water for everyone. What a difference it could make in the lives of everyone here in the wastes. Over time, that idea took the form of a purifier. Not like the one in the vault, though. This one was gigantic, capable of purifying millions of gallons of water at once. We used the old Jefferson Memorial for the location, right on DC's tidal basin. Someday soon, I hope you'll see it work.
So, what happened to Project Purity?
In the year before you were born, things became difficult. There had always been something of a mutant problem in the city, but it became worse. They attacked more frequently and more aggressively. Support for the project eroded as time went on, when we couldn't produce any significant results. Progress came to a halt. And then you were born. Your mother and I had talked about what to do when that time came, but then we lost her, and I had to make a decision. I chose to leave. From what I understand, things happened quickly after that. It became too dangerous for the others to stay, and so the project was abandoned. Dr. Lee and her team left for what became Rivet City, and Project Purity has sat waiting ever since.
How did Mom really die?
I understand that you have reason to question a good many things I've told you over the years. But your mother... I've never lied to you about what happened. Not once. She died giving birth to you. It was a difficult time. She was so eager to meet you, to make a place for you in the world. If nothing else, please believe that she loved you very much.
And I don't want to say what's the big deal about water anyway. That sounds like a very dumb thing to say. I have to go, Dad.
Be careful, my son.
Okay. Pretty, oh, he's just gonna run off. Alright, man, this is just Dad abandonment simulator. Okay, so yeah, there's our father. We have finally met him. Looks like he's only armed with a 10mm pistol as well. Probably should have something a little bit better than that, but... you know, so yeah, Tranquility Lane, definitely the biggest highlights of Fallout 3. And again, if you go down the Betty path, probably doesn't deal that much damage to your karma, but you know, it's something that I didn't want to do regardless for this character, who is, you know, definitely a good force in the wasteland, which you want to be if you're doing 100%, because you'll definitely lock yourself out of quests and things. Boots and quests and boots and quests and boots and quests and boots and quests. So, yeah, we can go meet him back at Rivet City. I don't know if he's actually traveling with us. I wonder if we've been away so long that, like, this first aid box restocked. Don't know if they actually do that or not, or if we just got lucky. But we will meet him in Rivet City, and we will end this episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know this series has been obviously very off and on, but yeah, I'm just kind of waiting until I want to record the Bethesda stuff since I've done so much of it, and yeah, it's fun when I do wait for that. So thanks so much for watching. Check out the Patreon and the Twitch links in the description below, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.